I'm Anna. I'm a junior, and yeah, I'm an ambassador. That's basically all there is to know about me.
I'm Priya. I'm the one who's mainly been reaching out to you on Instagram and everything. And I'm also a junior. So can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about your business?
Sure. So my name is Arian. I was actually born in Hungary, in Europe. And when I was 7 years old, my family immigrated to Canada, in Toronto, where I lived. And I went to university in Carleton, Ottawa, Ontario. And I studied mechanical engineering, and I graduated in 2017. But since early childhood, I've been very passionate about Brazil, and I always wanted to live there. So that was always kind of like a goal of mine. And in, I think 2018, 2019, when I was working at a job in Toronto, where I worked for a reseller 3D printing company that sells printers and additive manufacturing service. But I also like to have my own hobby, and I always have my own hobby, working on some stuff on the side. And one hobby I was working on was recycling plastic, my own household plastic. And so I did some research, and from zero knowledge about recycling, I kind of figured out, I did some research and like, okay, cool. So like you could shred plastic and you melt it to a certain temperature, and then you could make all sorts of products out of this. So I thought, okay, this is so cool. Let me look into it. And I was deciding what I should make. So I saw these plastic penny boards, and I was like, oh, this would be so cool if, I could figure out a way to make a recycled penny board, recycling skateboard. And that was pretty much the goal. And in the next over the course of a year, I managed to do that. So just making a load of shredder, learning, at what temperature to not burn it, and how to get it into a mold, and all sorts of stuff. And then the next summer, I had some products, this is what I ended up making, a skateboard like this. So it's really simple, kind of like, as you can see, it's kind of just a plane, like it's 2D kind of thing. Really simple, but it was super cool. And I took it to a park, and people thought it was really interesting. And I sold some, but to be honest, I was selling it just to see if people would buy a recycled skateboard. Like, is it actually interesting, or is it just interesting to me? But people are really interested in it and asking all sorts of questions. So I realized, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, this could be something that could work. And then I kind of tied it back with my passion of living in Brazil and Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro is it's a really big city. And with that comes all sorts of social and environmental issues, right? There's lots of inequality. There's rich areas, poor areas. It's on the ocean, so you have all sorts of environmental issues with pollution going into the ocean. So I thought this would be an awesome kind of business idea to make products out of recycled plastics in Rio de Janeiro and raise awareness for plastic pollution and educate kids and all sorts of stuff. So I've been to Brazil many times, and I reached out to some friends I knew, asking, what do you think about a project like this? And I knew some guys that are very involved with social projects in Rio de Janeiro. So I met with them, and then they thought this would be an incredible project to tie in with the other projects they have. So then in 2020, the beginning in January 2020, I decided to kind of immigrate to Brazil, and which is a whole, sorts of difficulties with that. And so I did anyways. I moved there in 2020, or 2020, but just to kind of see if this is actually, this could actually work out. So in that year, I met with all my friends and my partners that are my partners today. And I realized, okay, this would be a really cool idea to actually mount a business like this. So in the fall, came the pandemic and all sorts of stuff. So it was very slow. But then in late 2020, I got my permanent residence here, so I could actually open a business and do that. So when that happened in 2021, we started to actually get a workshop and get the equipment and start the project. And then we turned a skateboard like this. So this was the model in Canada, which is 22. This is 22 inches. And by last year, we were able to make a larger version. So this is 25 inches, and you could see that has much more curves. It's much more complicated, sophisticated. Anyway, so this is the end product. So this is all 100% recycled plastic. I say that these are made from bottle caps. So a bunch of people came to me and either donated or sold me bottle caps, which is that's what I'm saying. It's bottle caps because it's easy to find. So where this factory, our factory is based in a favela in Rio, which is like a slum. So in Rio, 1 in 4 people live in slums, which is slums are unofficial settlements. So where people just decide to build a house without legal infrastructure, and there's no urban planning, nothing like that. So there's a lot of, but sometimes they don't have choices. Over time, they have electricity, they have water, all sorts of stuff, but sanitation is not that great, or garbage collection is not that great. So there's all these challenges, which is why we wanted to base it in a favela to show bring attention there and it's like at the root of the problem. So you could educate kids easier, you could show the potential and the creativity that people in the favela have, all sorts of stuff. So our business is very social, very environmental, and it's not just the end goal isn't to sell skateboards, like isn't to make money selling recycled products, but it's so much so showing the capability there is with recycled products and the reuse of materials, as well as having products that we can educate people. So when we show kids the skateboard, they think, oh my God, like this is such a cool, colorful skateboard. And then they get really excited about skating and sports. But then you tell them, oh, like, did you know this is recycled? And then they get even more excited. And then you could really engage and talk to them about, pollution, like plastic pollution, alternatives, and so on. So that's really our goal. And that's what our business is about.
You mentioned that like you try to raise awareness about what's going on in the favelas, like, and that your business is based there. Like, how do you give back? How does your how does the favela make an impact on your work, and how do you make an impact?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I didn't decide I want to do it here and I want to do it here. We were invited. The people that invited me to do my project in Rio, they already had a ecosystem projects that were based in a certain favela. This favela is called Hacienda, and it's the largest favela in Latin America, home to between 150 and 200,000 people. Like, there's so many people don't even know how much people live here. But it's really hard. It's pretty much a city within a city, and even inside the favela, there's pretty, I don't want to say wealthy, but good areas, like comfortable areas, people living comfortable lives, and people living almost extreme poverty life. So even within a generalized slum, there's different levels of social equity and social situations, right? When I was invited to do it here with them because they were already tying together a bunch of projects, and I would kind of fit the circle. So one project, they give food baskets to 200 poorest families per month. So each month they receive a food basket with basic essentials like oil, rice, even soap. And during the pandemic, they received personal hygiene products. And in exchange, so this is and that's what they were doing. So they had a little register of people that really needed it and so on. And when they realized they had such a good connection with and close relationship with families, they asked them that, okay, next month when you receive food basket, come back with your household waste, so plastic waste, and now they even collect used cooking oil. So out of that household waste, they give me, they sell me, so I buy the plastic that I use from them at like a double the market value. So yeah, anyway, so why I do that is because I'm part of the slum, the favela, and I want to help this project, this NGO, to help their families. So instead of them donating it to me, I buy it for them, so to help them cover some costs, not all costs, but some costs. That's one relationship I have. There's another relationship we have with another project that makes gardens. This guy, he helps people and teaches people how to grow gardens in their home so they could have basic food, right? I mean, it's not going to solve their food shortage or anything like that, but it shows them that they don't need to be dependent 100% on buying food. In our little workshop, we have some space, and we're inviting him to do a sample garden, so then when kids come to learn about our recycling project, they also learn about organic and composting and building that. So that's another relationship. So we are very, very involved with the community, and the more we grow, we want to give back. So we want to create jobs, create a circular economy, and all that stuff. So for sure, it's very important to be part of the community. You can't just go in and solve the solution that you think is a problem. You have to really ask them, people that live there, people that like grew up there, and just say like, how can you help, or like, what's an issue that's important to you,